Your phone is actively ruining your life. And today I am going to show you the exact architectural blueprint of how to take your life back. I am making this video because I'm sick of these generic screen time limits that fail within 48 hours because they treat trillion-dollar dopamine economy like a simple matter of bad habits. Most productivity advice tells you to use your willpower or delete the social media app. But what happens when your career and lifestyle totally depend on digital connectivity? How do you stop your phone from shattering your focus without moving you to a cabin in the woods? Today, you are going to learn how to transform yourself from a twitchy, reactive consumer into a cold, clinical operator who uses technology as a high leverage tool rather than an emotional pacifier. I'm not giving you a lecture from a place of moral superiority. Navigating high stake operations for hyper growth firms that I worked for meant my phone was a relentless fire hose of critical data, pings, and operational emergencies. I had to engineer a clinical framework to protect my biological attention span from collapsing under corporate pressure. Let's look at the neuroscience of what that glass rectangle is actually doing to your brain. Let's dismantle a massive corporate lie. You do not have a smartphone addiction. You are suffering from an asymmetric warfare environment. Behind the glass screen of your phone sits the most advanced supercomputers on earth. And these run algorithms designed by the world's elite behavioral psychologists. Their sole job description mandate is to make sure that your eyes are connected to the screen for as many milliseconds as humanly possible, just so that they can liquidate your attention span to advertisers. In neurobiology, the primary mechanism they exploit is called the variable reward schedule, which is also the exact psychological exploit used to design Las Vegas slot machines. Just think of it. If a slot machine paid out $10 every time you pull the lever, your brain will instantly get bored because the thrill disappears. But when the pullout is completely unpredictable, you pull the lever once, you get nothing. You pull the lever the second time, you still get nothing. But when you pull the lever on the third time, you hit a massive jackpot. Meanwhile, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine, not when you win the reward, but in the anxious anticipation of the possibility of a reward. Every time you pull down to refresh your feed, you are pulling down the lever of a digital slot machine. Will it be a stressful email? Will it be a notification from a client? Or will it be a useless likes counter? The sheer unpredictability is what triggers the primitive survival mechanism of your brain to demand that you check it every 4.5 minutes. In his groundbreaking book, Digital Minimalism, computer science professor Cal Newport captures the structural gravity of this crisis. He writes, technology is not inherently bad, but if you actively don't take control of how you interfere with it, the default settings provided by the attention economy will systematically strip away your anatomy, your deep focus, and your capacity for solitude. Now let's talk about the cognitive cost of context switching. When your phone buzzes next to your laptop, when you're trying to focus on a work blog or study for an exam, you think a split second glance at your phone is harmless. You tell yourself it only took 2 seconds to read the text. Now I'm back to my work. But cognitive science proves that is an absolute myth. Dr. Gloria Mark at the University of California tracked human workflow and discovered that it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to return to your original state of deep focus after a single interruption. Why? Because of a neurological phenomenon known as attention residue. When you switch context from your work to your phone, a friction of your cognitive processing power stays permanently attached to the message or the notification. Your prefrontal cortex is left running heavy background applications just like your phone, which renders your conscious mind completely sluggish, shallow, and lazy for the next 20 minutes. Your phone isn't just wasting your time, it is actively lowering your functional IQ during the hours you need it the most. Laziness is simply the feeling of a brain that is completely fried by continuous context switching. If you want to take your life back tomorrow, we are completely abandoning the emotional concept of use your phone less. We are going to treat your smartphone exactly like a corporate volatile asset. We are going to radically restrict its parameters and engineer the system to serve us. Here is your 3-part digital restructuring protocol. Step number 1, the monochromatic interface upgrade. Human brain is hardwired to respond to highly saturated bright colors. Red, blue, and yellow signify evolutionary high priority alerts, ripe fruit, poisonous insect, or sudden danger. App designers deliberately use these specific color palettes to keep your visual cortex in a state of low level, high reactive arousal. To break this psychological hold instantly, you must remove the visual dopamine loop. And how do you do it? By changing your phone's entire operating system to grayscale mode. Go into your accessibility setting right now and strip every single drop of color from your interface. Turn the entire screen into cold, flat, pouring canvas of monochromatic gray. The moment you do this, something extraordinary happens to your behavior. Instagram stops looking like a vibrant, infinite catalog of hyperstimulation and begins to look like a dry, unappealing digital newspaper. This makes your brain's primitive visual reward center to instantly cool down. You will unlock your phone, look at the dull gray icons, and naturally lock it back down within 5 seconds because the sensory payoff has been engineered down to absolute zero. Step 2, the radical notification sanitization. Let's establish an absolute corporate boundary for your digital workspace. Your phone does not have the right to interrupt your consciousness. Unless an event involves real world, flesh and blood emergency, like a direct phone call from your immediate family or a critical real time operational alert from your business infrastructure. If it is not one of them, it does not deserve a push notification. You must open your settings and systematically provoke push permissions for 95% of your application. Social media likes, comments, and direct messages, turn them off. News alerts, sport updates, promotional pings, turn them off. Email notifications, completely turn them off. You must transition from a push economy to a pull economy. A push economy means the world decides when to invade your brain. A pull economy means you decide when you have the cognitive bandwidth to open an application, retrieve the data, process it, and close it on your own executive schedule. You do not check messages because a red dot screamed at you. You check them because you allocated a tactical 15-minute window in your calendar just to do so. Step number 3, the physical air gap rule. As we analyzed in our framework on building unkillable consistency, the physical proximity of an object dictates the baseline friction of a habit loop. If your phone sits within an arm's reach on your desk while you're working, your brain is burning continuous metabolic energy simply resisting to pick it up. To achieve deep, high-level focus, you will have to implement physical air gap rule. When it is time to execute an asset, whether it's filming, scripting, or handling deep analytical work, your phone cannot be in the same room as your body, period. Physically leave your phone in the kitchen or put it in a drawer or lock it face down in a bag. By introducing an intentional physical barrier, you will have to force yourself to stand up, walk through a doorway, open a drawer just to check your phone. Here, you increase the activation energy of your bad habit. Your brain is naturally lazy. It will calculate that the physical effort required to check your phone screen is too high and it will effortlessly surrender back to the deep work at hand. The ultimate truth of high performance is this: your attention span is the single most valuable non-renewable currency you possess. Every single asset you want to build in your 20s, your net worth, your career leverage, your physiological health, and your strategic capabilities requires deep, uninterrupted blocks of focus time. You cannot build an elite life if you allow tech aggregators to auction off your focus every 3 minutes for pennies on the dollar. Stop playing the defensive game with your devices. Monochromatize your interface, sanitize your alerts, and enforce the physical air gap rule. And this is how you take your cognitive autonomy back. Once you clear this toxic digital fog out of your environment, you are going to face a sudden, terrifying surplus of empty time. Your biggest challenge will no longer be dodging distractions. It will be learning how to force your brain to show up consistently every single time when the artificial simulation is completely gone. If you're ready to master the exact non-emotional systems to automate your daily consistency without relying on willpower, click on this video right here where I discuss the real signs of cognitive flywheel and how to destroy laziness permanently. Stay volatile, stay dangerous, and go take your life back, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye-bye.